Epimanly, for the well-groomed man of the 90s. Epimanly gently removes unsightly nose hairs, and because Epimanly takes the hair from the root, you can go longer between trimmings. Epimanly's patented lift and yank action gently lifts and yanks the hair from the root. Epimanly's turbine rotary blades cast a gentle breeze over your face. Epimanly, for the well-groomed man of the 90s. Sold at fine stores everywhere.
Epimanly.
Epimanly, for the well-groomed man of the 90s.
What's the coolest all around? What's real crazy when it gets around? Super cute houses, super cute. It's sweeter than nature. Everyone, both young and old, go and keep crazy, I am told. Play a game or just watch it go. Where it bounces, nobody knows. Super cute, I'll tell you all. Super cute, it's all.
Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host. We're going on a quest for truth together. Well, here we are again, friends. And when it's Monday, happy Monday to you all. I hope you had a really good weekend. And, well, we're off to a new week now. And boy, the Epstein files are really making waves. Finally, people are hopefully waking up to the idea that this depravity goes on so that it can be rooted out and all those children can be saved. Alrighty then, and the people must go to jail. The perpetrators of these horrible crimes must go to jail. Well, I hope that you're all having a wonderful Monday, and we got a good show for you tonight. So let's go over and kick it off right now in our favorite place on the internet. Yes, you guessed it, Chatlandia. Why, it's a groovy little place, groovy like a record, you might even say, over there on the far side of the intranet, where all of our friends can gather around, watch the show, and chat back and forth. And it's just a wonderful thing because they're wonderful people. And check it out sometimes when you're watching us live. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube and Rumble. How do you like them apples? Why we have Weiss123. That's Catherine Weiss. She's one of our Ultramods. She says, "Hi, Aaron." And then she says, "I'll be over there on YouTube tonight." And then she also says, "Hi, Peggy." And then I said, "Hi, Kathy." Okay. And then I said, "Hello, Truth Questers over there on YouTube." And then Kathy says, "Hi, Aaron," over there on YouTube. And then I said, "Hello, Truth Questers," on the portrait broadcast on the YouTube channel. 2 different broadcasts, one for your confuser, one for your telephone. How do you like that? And I said, "Hi, Kathy," over there on YouTube. And look who else is here. It's our longtime friend, Skylark74. He says, "Greetings, fellow Truth Questers." And I said, "Hi, Skylark74. You know, it's nice to have a special name for everyone who watches. Truth Questers. It's a great moniker. And you guys do very well at it. So that's awesome." And Skylark74 says, "Hello, Catherine. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Aaron." And then Cap78 Pack, another one of our Ultramods, that's Peggy Dancer, says, "Hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123. Kathy. Hi, Skylark74. Then I said, "Hi, Peggy." Oh, and Peggy's over there on YouTube, too. She says, "Hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123. Kathy. I'm on Rumble tonight." All right. And then Kathy says, "Hiya, Skylark." And then Kathy says, "Hi, Aaron," over there on the portrait channel on YouTube. And then Kathy says, "Hello, hi, Peggy," over there on the portrait channel. Oh, and look who else is. Oh, how did that happen? What's going on? You know what? It's this darn trackpad. Oh, gosh. Look, it's our good friend Chronaviewer. And he says, hi, Aaron. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Skylark74. And Kathy says, hi, Skylark. No, she says, hi, Chronaviewer. Sorry about that. Oh, and look who else is here. It's our longtime friend and Ultramod over there on YouTube, Operation Shutdown. Hello, Aaron. Looking good. Like a well-groomed man of the 90s. Well, thank you. I cut my hair yesterday with the fabulous Flowbee from like 1986. So yeah, that's cruising right up there towards the 90s. So yeah, look at that. My hair's all coiffed. And you know, whenever I cut my own hair, I like to tip myself. Oh yeah, just don't tip myself over. That's all. And then Kathy says, hi, Operation Shutdown. I got to go over there and say hi to Operation Shutdown. Hi at Op. There it is, like magic. Oh, the internet. It's so wunderbar, isn't it? It really is a fabulous thing, the intro net. And then Cap78 Peggy Dancer says, hello, Chronaviewer. Tell Mrs. Pinkerton hello. Yes, hello, Mrs. Pinkerton. And then Operation Shutdown says, hello, Kathy. And then Skylark74 hello says, hello, Chronaviewer. Could the Chronaviewer be a possible antidote to the Mandela effect? Which timeline is the real one? What entity would know? Good question. Good question. And Chronaviewer says, hi, Cap78 Pack. I will. And then Chronaviewer says, which timeline is real? The real one indeed. Skylark74. Well, I guess the one we're on is the right one for us, right? Then I said, hi, Operation Shutdown. And then Operation Shutdown says, hello, Aaron. Good haircut. Groovy like a record, some might say. Yes, groovy like a record. I love it. That's right. He knows all my cut lines. And that's good. And our Rodriguez fam says, hi. Well, hello there, Rodriguez fam. And I think we're all caught up. How do you like them apples? Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, shall we just dive into this thing here? Did you see the thumbnail for tonight's show? Well, let's go on over to the Book of Faces, like Heidi Pop calls it, or I like to call it the Land of Zuckers. Because as you know, there is a Zucker born every minute over there on Facebook. The Book of Faces, the Land of Zuckers. Here we are over there on Zuckerland. All right. Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarity, number 727. That almost even sounds like an airplane, doesn't it? I guess you could fly this show anywhere, couldn't you? And what are we looking at there? Why, it's one of Mars's moons. I think it's Phobos, transitioning in front of the sun. That's what the sun looks like. It must be a dusty day out there on Mars, but that's what it is. We'll get to watch that. That's something to look forward to. And there we are. We're live. And here is the president. The White House put this out. He was live. And they're talking about what? They're talking about bringing manufacturing back in a lot of different ways. Let's listen to a little bit of it. We will begin shortly because we're not very tall, right?
Is a truly uniquely American solution. It brings together our capital markets, which are the best and biggest in the world, with our manufacturers, our innovators, our miners, all pitching in to make this possible. Now, these things don't happen without the best and the brightest within industry being at the table. And Mr. President.
So he's got mining he said all these people are going to talk mining and automobile manufacturing. They're even talking about, this is a really great idea. China has controlled all the mining. They've done like a lion's share of the world's mining, and the Dems have like closed all the mines because, it's environment. Well, so they're also talking not only creating our own minerals, our own mining for all these minerals, but also creating a storage, like a safe house storage for the excess that we build. So in case we need them in an emergency, we have them, like kind of like the emergency seed bank, but for minerals. I think that's a great idea. Groovy like a record, you might even say. Here's President Ronald Reagan when he was looking a little bit younger. Of course, this is the Fantastic News Channel. They do these little baby versions. This is Ronald Reagan telling a very funny one. Check this out.
There's a story, you knew I'd have one of these, about a fella who always wanted to work with animals. And he applied at the zoo. And they had an ad out for, they needed someone there. And then he found out to his dismay that the job they had immediately open was dressing in a gorilla outfit, taking the place of the gorilla who just died, and until a new one could be delivered. And then they promised that he'd have a regular job at the zoo once that took place. Well, he put on the suit and he got in the cage. He got a little bored sitting around, so particularly when the children were there, he began doing tricks and showing off for them. And finally got so interested in that, he got carried away one day. He was swinging on a rope, and he swung so far that he landed in the lion's cage that was next door. And the lion came roaring at him. And he started screaming for help. Somebody get me out of here, get me out of here. And the lion jumped on him and says, shut up or you'll get us both fired.
Isn't that good? I think that's hilarious. Oh, I didn't realize Ronald Reagan told so many awesome jokes in his speeches. He was a really good communicator, and I think that Trump learned a lot from Ronald Reagan. One of the greats, definitely. Too cool for school. Oh, Transitive Phobos. Yeah, sounds like a short story written by Arthur C. Clarke. Oh, probably was. And he says, I think I was thinking of Transit of Earth, but I can't remember much about it. Okay. And Kathy puts this out while we're waiting to see this next little video. Please like and share this video with your friends, family, social media. Hit the old thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, the algo beat, and the algo melody. Oh, yeah. Helps all those algo things that we don't know much about. Thanks, Kathy, for putting that out there. Let's listen to this. Ghosts. Is a ghost talking to your Alexa? Well, there's a way to find out. Let's listen to this. This is really interesting. Oops.
Has played random music. Like sometimes it will just randomly have like a religious song come on really loud, or like another random song without anybody prompting it. Are you telling me that it could potentially have been a ghost in the house telling it to play something? And then I should go and check my Alexa logs? What?
So there's a ghost in my house, which if you don't believe in ghosts, I mean, that's on you. I believe in spirits and all that stuff. I've always thought there was a ghost in my house. So here we go. I decided to do some research, and apparently you can get on the Alexa app, which I didn't have, but now I have. You can see what was played recently. So besides that, you can also see the recording. So when you have an Alexa and you're like, Alexa, stop. Alexa, play this. Alexa, do this. It records you every time you do that. And you can go back and listen to it. So earlier today, I got into that and I was like, oh my God, there's recordings from last night. Of course, there's the one that says, Alexa, stop, which was it. That was me, because I had to stop the crazy music that was playing. And then there's another one, which I'll show you. Right here at 10:08 p.m. last night. it says, Alexa, play Lady. And as you can see, you can also listen to it. So I was at work with my best friend and I was like, well, we have to listen to it. This is going to creep us out, but we got to listen to it because it wasn't me. I was upstairs, had no idea what was going on. So I pushed listen. At first I was like, it's just static. Like, why is it static noise? That's so weird. I'm like, downstairs is completely silent. It wouldn't be static. So we keep listening to it over and over again until we realize, and we're like, wait. So we get our ear real close to it, and faintly in the background, you can hear a male voice say, Alexa, play Lady, which then it played Kenny Rogers' Lady. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was creepy as hell. It's so creepy. And I'm like, okay, so it played for an entire hour because it also shows that I did not shut it off. I did not ask Alexa to stop until 11:01 because I was upstairs watching TV and it played a whole playlist for a whole hour because I couldn't hear it because my TV was on upstairs. Until I turned the TV off, just doom scroll my phone. That's when I was like, is that music? So, yeah. Has this happened to anyone else? Because it's creepy as hell.
Wait, so are you telling me that the few times that my Alexa has...
So I wish she would have
Wait, sorry.
played the actual sound so we could hear it. But yeah, that's kind of creepy. I don't have Alexa or any of that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff creeps me out. Did you hear about this? Listen to this.
Trump is holding human traffickers accountable. Trump signed the Trafficking Survivors Relief Act. A lot of these women who are trafficked are forced into breaking the law, committing crimes for their traffickers. So what this act is actually going to do is it's going to erase their records so they can get jobs, housing, and start their lives again. Just another win for Trump that the liberals will refuse to acknowledge. We just keep winning. Trump is holding human traffickers accountable.
Isn't that good? He's doing so many good things. Oh, what's this? Report. Texas wind and solar failed during this week's winter storm. Grid carried by natural gas and coal. The old standbys, the Western Journal put that out. And this is from the White House, from Donald J. Trump. When I imposed historic tariffs on nearly all foreign countries last April, the critics said my policies would cause a global economic meltdown. Instead, they have created an American economic miracle, and we are quickly building the greatest economy in the history of the world, with other countries doing just fine. There you go. What's this? Oh, Tim Walz emerges from den to declare 6 more weeks of rioting and fraud. Of course he did. He doesn't know anything else. That's all he can do. Oh, it's colder in Florida than it is in Iceland. Well, Iceland's really not that cold. Greenland is. I can tell Greenland's a lot colder. But 27 in Okeechobee. Don't say that 3 times fast because people might think you're choking. And Reykjavik, Iceland. Now, a friend of mine in high school's mother was from Reykjavik, Iceland. They lived there for a short while. And he had really cool sweaters, from there. I guess the major jobs out there for teenagers were like you could work at the Coca-Cola factory or fishing. Those were what he said. Very small country. There it is. I'm thinking of writing a book of fish puns. So if you know any good ones, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, yeah. Don't you like that? From puns. Oh, and here's from Dan Bongino. Hey, good morning from Times Square. And no, this isn't AI. He's really there. And he's really there in Times Square. Look at that. Almost looks like a bottle, doesn't it? Is that like a champagne bottle or something? A new era begins. Dan Bongino, he just could not wait to get back on the air. I think he's one of those kind of guys that he itches to be on the air, and he does very well. He does very well. And it's good. It's good that he's coming back. We'll have to check that out. Oh, and did you hear Nicki Minaj has been on a tweet storm dumping information about the satanic pedophile elites and what they make people do. And Nicki Minaj put this, she's what the F? And below that, maybe I should discuss the brainwashing. Yeah, maybe you should. The brainwashing techniques they use. Imagine a 30-year-old rapper was out here with a 16-year-old in this day and age, and how y'all would have his head on a platter. The guy is hugging and humping on teens in broad daylight. Next, I'll get to the owner of the Shade Room, and more. The Shade Room? That sounds pretty diabolical. The Shade Room. They sabotaged my documentary because I spoke about abuse that I suffered. They've been trying to stall my projects in hopes I'd lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. The leaders still think it's a joke. They detest something. I can't read what's behind that. It's about to come down on them. So she told him, there you go. I guess she's like one of the biggest current stars right now. So for her to come out pro-Trump and to be giving all this information about the satanic ritual abuse and everything, mind control, that's pretty powerful. She's got like 27 million followers. Trump derangement syndrome pills. Take 2 and try being an American for a change. Thanks, MAGA Doodle, for putting that out there in conservative politics today. They should announce a sequel to Groundhog Day and then just re-release the original. Yeah, they should. That would be a great marketing scheme. No one would be upset. They would just, oh, this is great. Yeah. Bill Murray. Yeah, he was kind of born for that role, wasn't he? Yeah. Oh, February, this February month is special. Did you know that? 4 Mondays, 4 Tuesdays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Thursdays, 4 Fridays, 4 Saturdays, and 4 Sundays. This only happens once every 823 years. Well, I'm going to check my calendar in 823 years and see if that's going to be true. I'll remember that. Maybe not. With the memory, the way my memory's going, I might not remember that far into the future. 823. You know, if I do Tai Chi, maybe I'll make it to 823 years from now. You know, Tai Chi sounds like a good idea. I think it's going to work. Oh, do you hear this? The Quality Leering Center is closed down. How are those kids going to leer? Who's going to leer them? Oh, man. Why did the Quality Leering Center close? Why is this building closing? Jeffrey Parnell Wolfie says, not the Leering Center. And I said, yeah, how will all those imaginary kids leer anything? They're not going to leer anything. Look at that. You already know the answer. Punxsutawney Phil. He's all frostbitten there. Look at him. Yeah. And JJ RSVL is here. Good to see you here. There you go. You already know the answer. You hear this story? This is pretty funny. A man took a cat he thought was his lost pet, only for his real cat to return 2 days later. Look at those 2 almost identical cats. Wow. The one on the left looks pissed. He's like, my other owner gave me better food, dude. And what's this clone doing here? Do you think the one on the left is his real one? Like, you trying to replace me or something, dude? What's going on here? That's remarkable. It's almost as remarkable as a write and wipe board. Of course, write and wipe board is the most remarkable. Tuxedo cats. And Carnivore says, howdy, JJ RSVL. Look at that. What would you do? I mean, what's he going to do? Bring the other cat back to where he picked it up from and say, sorry, cat, I guess you're not my cat. No wonder you were scratching me. How does he know the second one was his? How would you know? I guess you might know. The growing trend of states lowering or eliminating income taxes. Look at that. Tax relief. I'm not sure which colors mean what. Add Wisconsin to the list if I'm governor. Tom Tiffany. I think I'm going to vote for him. I hope he's not just saying that to get elected. Of course he is, but hopefully he'll do it. Stand with ICE. Yes, we need to stand with ICE. Did you see what's happening all over the country? Or, a couple spots, I guess, in LA, where their teachers are bringing their kids out for protesting, and one got sprayed. Oh my God, it's terrible. They should never bring, and they're teaching them that protesting is violence, and a bunch of kids beat up on their teacher at an ICE protest. It's terrible. It's absolutely horrible. This is terrible. It's not what protesting is, people. Donald Trump put this out. The Grammy Awards are the worst, virtually unwatchable. CBS is lucky not to have this garbage litter their airwaves any longer. The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the low ratings Academy Awards. Noah said incorrectly about me that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong. I can't speak for Bill, but I have never been to Epstein Island, nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, have never been accused of being there. Not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty of money. Ask little George Slopadopoulos and others how that all worked out. 15 million. Also ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. President DJT. Oh, he's so entertaining. We are so lucky. I mean, Reagan was entertaining, but Trump is off the rails entertaining. Yes, absolute slander. And Peggy Dancer says, these people are sick and evil. Leave the children alone. Right. Leave those kids alone. Remember that? Get along, brother Kittles. Get along. That's right. All right. So fun. So fun. And look at this. Look at this. He's like a, if you could get a cheese curd to appear in human form, this is what it would be. This guy, billionaire Reid Hoffman. Looks like he eats like he's not going to have a billion for long. He's eating as many bad things as he can. Billionaire Reid Hoffman, who bankrolled the Eugene Carroll lawsuit against Trump, is featured extensively in the new Epstein files, visiting Zorro Ranch and Pedophile Island. Disgusting. These people are sick. That's what Q said. These people are sick. Yeah. Oh, and you know, when people talk about the medical industry, they don't know what's going. The human body is so complex. Even one little cell is so complex. There's no way that we can figure out how to fix most things. We're just like guessing. But look at this, how complex the inside of a cell is. Check it out.
It is pretty crazy that these little motor proteins that look like chicken legs physically walk cargo through your cells to where it needs to go. But what if I told you it's even crazier than that? Because this is that same kinesin motor protein, except you can see there's no empty space in a cell. So this animation is actually misleading because of how much empty space there is. And the lack of empty space and the chaos that goes on in there is actually the reason why these motor proteins are pretty rare and make up a very small portion of your proteins getting where they need to go inside your cells. And if we zoom into the cell, you'll realize something very few people know about biology, which is that there's really no empty space in a cell and everything is going so fast. And that chaos is why we don't need those chicken leg motor proteins to facilitate everything going where it needs to go. It's just going to hit it due to sheer randomness. A glucose molecule goes 250 miles per hour, and a typical enzyme, because of that speed, can hit 500,000 things every second. And that's why we don't need the motor proteins to drag things to precise locations. Frankly, there's just way too much stuff in a cell and way too much work that needs to be done for those motor proteins to facilitate every meetup of specific proteins that needs to happen. Instead, it has to rely on the chaos of this speedy soup flinging about at hundreds of miles an hour. I love biology. Follow along if you want to keep learning more about it like I do. It is pretty crazy.
Isn't that crazy? There's no way we're smart enough to figure out how to fix something when all that stuff, they're going 250 miles an hour. What if you don't stop soon enough and they'll break right through the membrane? That's pretty fast. Maybe not very inside your cell. Wow. That's crazy. Man alive. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Hillsdale College celebrated America's 250th birthday by rediscovering the spirit of 1776.
1776, 56 patriots gathered in a meeting hall in Philadelphia and signed their names to a document that would change the course of history forever. The Declaration of Independence, and I have it right there. What a beauty. Not only did they sever the political bonds with Great Britain, they announced a new era in human events, proclaiming that all of us are endowed by our Creator with rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In our war for independence and every generation since, thousands of American patriots have enlisted their lives in defense of that cause. From Trenton to Yorktown, from Gettysburg to Chambersburg, from the fields of France to the shores of the Philippines, and on the battlefields all over the world, every generation of Americans has drawn meaning and been inspired by the immortal deeds of the founding generation and the nation they gave us to build and to defend. In 2.5 centuries, that's 250 years, the spirit of 1776 has carried our flag to places and heights that our founding fathers could never have dreamed. Americans forged into the frontier and blazed across the Great Plains. We tamed the Wild West. We pushed the boundaries of scientific discovery. We enlightened the world with electricity and commerce. We defeated tyrants and vanquished dictators, and we planted the American flag on the moon. We owe it all to the patriots and heroes of 1776. This is the story of America. We're excited to retell one of the greatest tales in the history of mankind, working with Hillsdale College and some of our country's brightest leaders and foremost thinkers who have contributed to the Story of America video series, including Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Dr. Larry Arnn, Eric Metaxas, Brian Kilmeade, and many others. Join us in honoring this incredible history, and together we will give America the greatest birthday celebration our country has ever seen. God bless you, and God bless America.
Isn't that wonderful? We're so lucky that we have him for our 250th anniversary because he's such a student of history and he really, really conveys it very nicely. And much like Andrew Bashago. Please keep your prayers out for him too. Just walked past Orange Theory on my way to pick up a hot black coffee and overheard half a dozen college women chatting about Melania after their workout. They were enamored with the First Lady's class, humanity, and business acumen. Don't know. She's so smart, one of them said. Period, sis, another chimed in. I knew she was beautiful, but I had no idea she was so talented, too. Slay queen. I didn't realize President Trump was such a good husband, said another, as the rest nodded in agreement. The media just lies about him so much. He's actually such a gentleman. In hushed tones, they all admitted that they can no longer trust the liberal media or the Democrat Party. I think this film just secured the female vote for the GOP in the midterms. Isn't that amazing? That's so cool. Conspiracy theorists watching the public find out satanic pedophiles are real. Yeah. Remember, we tried to tell you and you dismissed it, remember? Yeah, now the proof is out, and there you go. And Leo Friedman says, been screaming this for years. A lot of us have been, some people here, I tried to talk to them about it in 2016, and they thought they still think I'm crazy. Well, maybe they don't think so now. Donald Trump put this out. He posted Juanita Broderick's post on Truth Social on looks like no, that's on X, but he put it on Truth Social. And Juanita Broderick, of course, she was the one that was sexually assaulted by Bill Clinton, and Bill never paid for that crime either. She says, "We knew it was stolen. The Dems knew it too. That's why they tried to put Trump in prison. They knew he'd dig deep enough to find out." Donald Trump, 1.5 million fraudulent votes counted. That's so cool. That's cool. Trump accounts. U.S. children born between 2025 and 2028 will receive a $1,000 investment thanks to President Trump. I thought they were extending that to anyone under 5. I don't know. Isn't that awesome? Kill cancer with ice. Well, this is pretty interesting. They're finding all kinds of ways to kill cancer.
Did you know we can now kill cancer by turning it into ice? Here's what's happening. Typically, when someone gets cancer, we use radiation, chemo, and surgery to treat them. But those treatments can be painful, invasive, and sadly, they don't always give us the outcomes we hope for. So doctors in Sydney are trying something new. Doctors use an MRI to see exactly where a tumor is active, and then they guide a needle inside of it with millimeter accuracy. Once the needle is inside, it releases gas so cold that it freezes the tumor into an ice ball. Cancer cells freeze, the water inside of them expands and bursts, killing the tumor without any major surgery or long recovery. Doctors have already tested this on a grandma with a spinal tumor, and it worked. She avoided a huge operation and woke up pain-free the next morning. And the same approach can be used to treat tumors in the liver and kidneys. Still very early, but breakthroughs like this give me a ton of hope. Did you know we can now kill cancer by turning it into ice? Here's what's happening.
In kidneys too. Maybe that's what's wrong with Andrew's kidneys. Oh, not Kenny Rogers put this out. Yet another Microsoft product full of viruses. Bill Gates himself, from Burt Winkler, Birgit Winkler, the U.S. Department of Memes Group official. And yeah, we all know this. Jonathan Gregory, send this treasonous liar to prison. Gabbard exposes Obama's Russiagate coup against Trump. By Jonathan Gregory. Yes, look how mean Obama looks. And Tulsi, future president, I tell you, that the Democrats could have had her. She could have been their star, but nope, they tossed her away because she wasn't corrupt enough for them. And Ryan Fournier put this out. Breaking Borders Are Tom Homan says 145,000 unaccompanied migrant children have been rescued from Biden-era neglect. 145,000 children. Wow. That is, I think it's about half of what they estimated that they lost. But there was a lot of getaways at the border they would never know. So that's 145,000 that never would have been found if Biden were president again, if he could have stolen another one. Oh, here's the microwave man. Welcome to the Bronx. You want to go to the Bronx? You might run into this guy, our friend, microwave man.
Yo.
Here comes.
What up, ladies? What's up?
Listen, I got one thing to tell y'all.
Yeah,
right?
what's up?
Never forget to be yourself. You know why? Because nobody could be you but you.
Right.
And don't forget that shit.
Thank you. Yo.
That is so cool. He's got such a cool shtick. I like that. Oh, Anthony Brock's back. Let's see what they talked him into doing this time.
Hello and welcome to round 23. Comments say goats can't play Pac-Man. Let's see who's the boss. These comments suck. What's next? Hello and welcome to round.
He keeps falling for the comments. Here's Phobos transiting the sun from Mars. If you're on Mars, this is what you will see, but you won't be able to swim. This might be a simulation. Oh. Image trail. Little clip there. The sun does not look very bright from Mars, does it? Hard to get a tan with that sun. Steve Weinman, Georgia Senator Warnock is complaining that Trump is seizing ballots from the 2020 general election. Warnock should worry because those seized ballots are going to prove he lost the 2020 Senate election, and he knows it. Georgia Senator Ossoff should be worrying also. Georgia fraud will be exposed. Yes. And fans love Melania. #1 highest opening in a decade documentary. Cinema score, A. Rotten Tomatoes, 98. How do you like that? Pretty darn good. Gotta see that. And here is a disturbing picture here. Holy crap. Leftist parents hauled their 7-year-old child to an anti-ICE riot. The kid got sprayed in the eye and she's in excruciating pain. It's burning. They coached her on how to engage in riots at 7. The parents need a visit from the police. Yes, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is not the way you raise your kids. That's not protesting. That's rioting. My God, so sick. This child endangerment, abuse, and grooming, these people need to be put under a prison. Yes, put in prison. And Wolfie says, poor kid, it's single liberal lesbian birthing person should be fined or flogged. Yeah. Jake Ryan put this out. So Obama was named in over 2,000 pages in the Epstein files. Liberals are quiet. Imagine that. Yeah, they don't. And Wolfie says the Clinton-Obama Hollywood pedo Joe files. Pedo Joe files. Yeah. Yep, it's all coming out. Look what just happened to the biggest ICE doxing website. Here's their new main page. We're not kidding. We sent your names, logins, passwords, and locations to a bunch of government agencies. Sherman Austin is a terrible coder, and so are RC Concepcion and Matt Brian. Look at that. They got him. Oh, you say you want an RC airplane? You want to get into RC airplaning as a sport? Well, you better have deep pockets because look where it can lead you. Look how huge this one is.
Craft. Then I saw this. Wow, an RC-747, but over 40 feet long. This is the largest RC aircraft ever built.
Wow.
Standing next to it, the size is kind of hard to wrap your head around. As expected, Matt was at the green with his crew.
Hey, man, what do you think?
What do I think? Well, this thing is beyond next level. The windows are individually modeled as cutouts with actual glass. And there's a full interior. The landing gear is insanely accurate and fully retracts, and the control surfaces are set up like the real thing, with flaps, ailerons, and flaperons all working together. The propulsion system behaves more like jet engines, with smooth gradual power instead of instant thrust. Even those just walking through the park stopped and paid attention. It became a bit of a scene.
Look at that thing.
But once it started rolling out across the grass, things got quieter.
Wow, look at that.
What gas does it take? Wow, look at that.
The takeoff was extremely smooth. And once it was in the air, it was so big and so accurate that from certain angles, it was easy to mistake it for a real airliner.
Wow. Look at that.
It didn't really feel like an RC plane anymore. It looked like just another airplane in the sky. It made a wide, steady pass and then came back into land. The gear came down, the approach was controlled, and it touched down cleanly.
Look at that.
Watching the footage back, it's so impressive. But being there in person, feeling the scale, was something else entirely.
Yeah! Woo!
Seeing the biggest RC aircraft in history take off and land like that was a pretty remarkable moment.
Totally groovy like a record. Totally groovy like a record. Oh, the most confused man in the world. Let's watch this. Sleepy, creepy, crooked Joe. Can you imagine if this idiot was still president, sleeping on the beach?
He congratulated the teleprompter on a powerful speech. He's fought in every American war since the 1700s. He thanks the city he's not in, then waves at the flag like it's an old friend. He hides his own Easter eggs. He once sniffed a St. Bernard's tail, mistakenly thinking that it was attached to an 8-year-old girl. He forgot where he left the Coke in the White House. Wait, no, he didn't. He needs GPS to find his way across a stage. He once tried to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. He thinks poor kids can be just as bright and talented as white kids. When someone answers his calls, he asks them what they want. He once woke up from a dream to realize that he was president, so he went back to sleep. Subtitles have a day dedicated to him. He's got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. He can't go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts without speaking in a slight Indian accent. He is the most confused man in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, I have trouble even saying to myself my own head in a number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
He congratulated the
Oh man, we dodged the bullet there. Thank you, Trump. We are so lucky. So gall darn lucky. And oh, we're lucky here too, because we get to see some Egypt. Some amazing architecture from Egypt. Check this out. Look at those massive pillars. And the ceiling. Stone ceiling. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And they put their little cartoons everywhere, their little storytelling things. Shouldn't we know everything about them? They put this stuff on everything. Shouldn't we know everything about their culture? We know nothing about their culture. Are they misinterpreting everything? I don't know. I just don't know. And here's Ronald Reagan again.
Capra, about a man. One of our medal winners today once made a film with Frank Capra about a man who took his own life for granted and was saddened by how little impact he seemed to have had on the world. But then a benevolent angel gave him the opportunity to see how different his hometown would have been had he not lived. The man was astonished to discover how much good he had done without knowing it, how many people he had touched and how many lives he'd made richer and happier. Well, more than you'll ever know, this world would have been much poorer and a dimmer place without each of you.
Millions of us watched the classic film It's a Wonderful Life this holiday season. The 1946 film starring Jimmy Stewart is considered one of the most inspirational films ever made. President Reagan celebrated Stewart's body of work by awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, our nation's highest civilian award, in 1985.
James M. Stewart. James Maitland Stewart arrived in Hollywood in 1935. Today, half a century later, his credits include more than 70 pictures, including such classics as Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, The Philadelphia Story, and It's a Wonderful Life. A patriot, Mr. Stewart served with distinction as a pilot during World War II, rising to the rank of colonel in the 8th Air Force. His typically American characters, boyish, honest, and kind, mirror the Jimmy Stewart in real life. An American boy who grew to a glorious manhood, but never lost his sense of wonder or his innocence.
Isn't that fantastic? You know, I'm glad he did that for Jimmy Stewart, because that is a fantastic movie, and it really does help you understand that if you had never lived, the world would be a much different place. So we're all important. Every one of us is very important to this world. Insurrection Barbie put this out. I'm going to say this again for the cheap agate prop seats in the back. Donald Trump has been investigated by the FBI, CIA, NSA, and IRS, and 3 state AGs, not to mention that the Epstein files were in the possession of the Biden DOJ, that was headed up by Merrick Garland. They raided his house over trumped-up charges, no problem. If there was one iota of proof that Donald Trump had anything sinister to do with what was going on with Epstein, he would have been perp-walked a long time ago in front of CNN cameras. Y'all are just embarrassing yourselves at this point. Ellen Friday, thanks for sharing that with us. The White House, there will be massive chaos. This is not a drill. President Trump set an emergency late night message. Monday, everything changes. Yeah, I think because they stopped paying to the sanctuary cities. Dan Scavino Jr. Just informed President Trump is wheels down in Palm Beach, Florida to attend our wedding tomorrow at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you, POTUS, Trump. A true honor. Thank you to all family and friends who joined us tonight in Palm Beach. We love you all. Well, congratulations, Dan Scavino. Trump had a 1 in 11.1 million or a 0.000009% chance of losing all 4 states when they stopped counting in 2020. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. He lost all 4. That's why we need the SAVE Act. That's right. Oh, here's from Baby Podcast. Let's listen to Baby Trump.
Never, ever, ever give up. Things will work out just fine. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in. Don't back down and never stop doing what you know is right. Never, ever, ever give up.
That's right. Never give up. Oh, here is a great little clip of Elvis singing Tutti Frutti. I had this 45 when I was a kid, and it is a really cool song. Of course, it was a song that had been recorded by Little Richard, and then Elvis did a version of it. Both very good versions. Check this out. It's just part of the song. Tutti Frutti.
Got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. I got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. She knows how to love me, yes indeed. Boy, you don't know what she do to me. Tutti frutti, oh Rudy. 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 Baba Luan, Balop, Bamboo. Hey, boy. We got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. I got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. She knows how to love me, yes indeed. Boy, you don't know what she do to me. Tutti frutti, oh Rudy. 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 Baba Luan, Balop, Bamboo. Hey!
There it is. That's one of a kind. This is the card that doesn't end. Remember the song that never ends by Lamb Chop and Company? This is a card, I think, dedicated to that. Nicole Winters. Check this card out. It'll keep someone busy forever. It just goes on and on, my friend. Some people started reading it not knowing, and they continue reading forever because this is the card that doesn't end. It goes on and on, my friend. Some people started reading not knowing what it was, and they'll continue reading forever just because this is the card that doesn't end. Isn't that cute? I think that's a clever card. Clever card. Oh, I love these little animations. They're so funny. Check this out.
It says here you're fast with math. Extremely. That's impressive. What's 31 times 17? 47. It's not even close, but it was fast. Welcome to the team. It says here you're fast with math. Extremely.
Oh, welcome to the team. That's not even close, but it was fast. Welcome to the team. Oh, no. Oh, here he is again, the microwave man.
Yo, let me tell you something, right? Always remember to be yourself, because nobody could be you but you. And don't forget that shit, you heard? Yo, how many times y'all practice that shit?
Too cool for school. Oh, I think I found my sport. Finally, there's a sport that I think I could get into. Check this out. From Nitro Circus. The couch never gets old. That's right. I think it's an easy chair, though. Lazy boy. Check it out. Gotta watch that again. Look at that. Oh, yeah. So cool. It's kind of scary way up there, I bet. Nice soft chair, though. Matt Morse put this out. After reading through all the Epstein documents, one thing seems abundantly clear to me. Epstein made numerous attempts to entrap Trump, but Trump turned him down every single time. Epstein had Maxwell introduce a young woman to Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Trump turned her down. Epstein invited Trump to his private island. Trump rejected the offer. Trump himself admitted that Trump never got a massage. Epstein also attempted to collude with a journalist to obtain compromising information about Trump, but he couldn't find any because there isn't any. Just lived a clean life, folks. And this is Dan Bongino shared this. Trump put out, I have instructed Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem that under no circumstances are we going to participate in various poorly run Democrat cities with regard to their protests and or riots unless and until they ask us for help. We will, however, guard, and very powerfully so, any and all federal buildings that are being attacked by these highly paid lunatics, agitators, and insurrectionists. Please be aware, I have instructed ICE and or Border Patrol to be very forceful in this protection of federal government property. There will be no spitting in the faces of our officers. There will be no punching or kicking the headlights of our cars. And there will be no rock or brick throwing at our vehicles or our patriot warriors. If there is, these people will suffer an equal or more consequence. In the meantime, by copy of this statement, I am informing local governments, as I did in Los Angeles when they were rioting at the end of the Biden term, that you must protect your own state and local property. In addition, it is your obligation to also protect our federal property, buildings, parks, and everything else. We are there to protect federal property only as a backup. And that is the local and state responsibility to do so. Last night in Eugene, Oregon, these criminals broke into a federal building and did great damage, also scaring and harassing the hardworking employees. Local police did nothing in order to stop it. Yeah, he's spot on. They got to crack down on that. A judge did not block the DOJ from arresting Don Lemon. Here is exactly what Chief U.S. District Court Judge Patrick J. Schultz ruled. If the government does not like the magistrate judge's decision, it can present its case to a grand jury to seek an indictment, which is exactly what DOJ did. And a grand jury found probable cause to charge Lemon with multiple crimes. Hodge twins. Oh, look at this. Shane Morgan. TDS destroys lives. Look at these poor saps, these Trump hating liberals that just keep getting, when you have so much hate in your heart, you become ugly. And their testimony to that, look at that. They have so much hate. They're just turning ugly. Sad. Mary House says, Ufta, fugly. That's right. I went to school with Mary. And let's go, Brando, Delta A1 31 2020. And this is something. Let's see. They were eating children in the Epstein files. Conspiracy no more. Yes, Lou Kirk. It's sick. You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need a parachute to go skydiving twice. Yeah. Once, you don't need it just to do it once. But if you want to survive, I guess, to do another one. New off-duty cop who should be an ICE agent just busts illegal alien Colombian burglary ring operating in sanctuary cities of Wisconsin. Detectives recovered $570,000 worth of cash, jewelry, and a hit list of 30 addresses linked to burglaries across the state dating back to 2023. Well, that's pretty cool. Oh, don't believe everything you hear. This is pretty good. Watch this. Don't believe everything you hear. Oh, that is so cute. That good doggo just breathing like a freight train. He's breathing like a freight train. Melania humiliates media execs, exceeds expectations with best documentary box office. What he said. There's our last show, so we got to cruise back over here to this realm. And there's Skylark. Time to walk the dog. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, that's Facebook for you. Well, let's go over to X really quickly and see what's happening over there. Shall we now? Yeah. Here we are over on X. Bill Gates loses 440 billion in a single day as Microsoft shares plummets after release of Epstein files. Oh yeah, look at that. Whoa, look how far down it went. How much is that? 440 billion. Wow. Good. Hope he loses more. Hope he loses more. Look at this. Oh, hold my beer. Hold my deer. Look at this.
Take that motherfucker down, Devin! Don't let him go! Poke him in the eye!
Don't let him go.
Oh, shit! Take that motherfucker down, Devin! Don't let him go! Poke him in the eye!
I wish people wouldn't swear so much. They're always F-bombing everything. You know, I try to do a clean show here, but there's so much of that out there. You won't hear me swearing. If you do, I'll say, excuse the lingo, schmingo, which I think they should all do. That should be a law. Oh, listen to this. She just solved a case. Look, listen to this.
I need your help. I think I just solved a cold case. I was going through the Epstein files, and I'll post it in a second, but there was an email talking about how a girl went missing, and on the same day, they had a girl with the same name on the flight. It's redacted. I also have the unredacted handwritten flight logs, so I looked up that date and got a name, and I searched it. And then I Googled the name, and she's still missing. So if any of her loved ones see this, I think you should bring this to your police officer's attention. The tag is at the bottom so that they can identify what document it is. I'm sorry, because I know that this is not the way that you should find out. I need your help. I think I just solved a cold case.
Sick.
I was going through the Epstein files, and
I mean, it's so good that she found that, but I wonder how many more will be found that way. Brilliant. Thank you, Maria17. That is incredible. That is incredible. I hope that that family finds her or gets some kind of closure. Look at this guy. He's got some kind of laser beam for his driveway. Look at that. Is it a laser? But it melts the snow. It's going to coat it with ice now. You have to keep going over it till it evaporates. It still looks easier than shoveling. Looks a lot easier than shoveling, doesn't it? But it's going to leave a, you see it, ice is forming right here. He just has to go over it again till it all like evaporates from the heat. That's pretty cool. What about heated driveways? Wouldn't that be a good idea? You'd think in 2026 we'd have heated driveways. I think they exist. Here's the inside of a cell again. Look at this. It's crazy. Hey, look at that. Incredible. Look at all that stuff in one cell. My goonie. We are such complex creatures. Trump just bodied Thomas Massie. People are saying that Thomas Massie became a liberal because his wife blessed be their marriage is supposedly a radical left flamethrower. This new union all went so fast that maybe he didn't know what he was getting into. But nevertheless, he is an absolute terrible and unreliable Republican, perhaps a rhino, or maybe even worse. Ed Galerian, a farmer and war hero, is running against Massey. He is a high-quality individual, and there is no candidate for Congress that could do better. He is running because he realizes Thomas Massey has been totally disloyal to the president of the United States and the Republican Party. He never votes for us. He always goes with the Democrats. Thomas Massey is a complete and total disaster. We must make sure he loses big. That's so incredible. Anna Paulina Luna, the Democrats are cracking like dogs on the shutdown because they are deathly afraid that I am making progress with the Republicans on terminating the filibuster. Whether we make a deal or not, the Republicans must blow up the filibuster and approve hundreds of long-sought but never gotten policy wins, like, as just a small example, voter ID, identification. Only a loser would not agree to doing this. That's right. Epstein drop connects CIA murder squads with Navy SEAL Marchenko. Red Pill News. Red Pill always does a great job. So check him out. Full uncut Bob Lazar video, Area 51, UFO craft technical propulsion analysis. It took me a bit of time, but he's got the full thing here. It's a 30-minute video. And you know what? Let me see. Let me see if I can. Nope. The link for it isn't there. But go to this guy's Money Penny on Twitter, X, and it should be on her thing there. And we've seen parts of this before. It's where Bob Lazar explains the propulsion system of the alien craft and lots of other things. It's a very good video, and I think you should watch it. Well, let's just see a little bit of it.
On space-time, which include time dilation, mass increase, length contraction, and a whole host of other things, it quickly becomes evident that this type of travel would require a level of technology that man has not yet achieved. The truth of the matter is that traveling these distances does require a level of technology that man has not yet achieved, but it has nothing to do with flying in a linear mode near the speed of light. We know that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, so in our universe, we've always assumed that the fastest way from point A to B was to travel in a straight line at the speed of light. Well, the fact is that when you're dealing with space-time and you enjoy the capability of generating an intense gravitational field, the fastest way from point A to B is to distort or warp or bend the space-time between point A and B, bringing point A and B closer together. The more intense the gravitational field, the greater the distortion of space-time and the shorter the distance between points A and B. Most of us think of space-time as the void or as nothing. And remember, it wasn't that long ago that man considered the air in our atmosphere to be nothing. Yet with time, we've become aware of the elements and properties of the air in our atmosphere. Well, indeed, space-time is an entity, and one of its properties is that it can be distorted or bent by a gravitational field. We know that gravity bends or distorts space-time and light by virtue of the fact that we're able to see stars, which we know should be blocked from our view by the sun. Referring to the graphic here, the solid line denotes the position of a star that's located behind the sun, and the dotted line shows its position as viewed from Earth. This is made possible because the sun's gravitational field distorts the space-time and light around the sun, allowing us to view stars which would be hidden from view. We know that gravity distorts time by virtue of the fact that if we take two identical atomic clocks and keep one at sea level and take the other one up to a high altitude, when we bring them both back together, they reflect different times. The difference in this passage of time is caused by the fact that a gravitational field weakens the further you get from the source. So the atomic clock which was taken to the high altitude was exposed to a less powerful gravitational field than the clock which we kept at sea level. The effect of a gravitational field on space-time is something that we've been able to observe, but not to experiment with. This is due to our inability to generate a gravitational field. And up until this point in time, great mass such as a star, planet, or moon was the only source of a discernible gravitational field that we're aware of. So just as the gravitational field around great mass, such as a planet, distorts space and time, any gravitational field, whether naturally occurring or generated, distorts space and time in a similar manner. Now, the great benefit of generating an intense gravitational field is not only can you turn it on, but you can turn it off. If we refer back to our original illustration of space-time distortion, we can see that when we generate an intense gravitational field, we can distort the space-time and in turn the distance between the point where we are and the point where we want to be. We can then position ourselves at the point where we want to be and then stop generating the gravitational field, allowing space-time to return to its natural form. In this manner, we can travel great distances with little linear movement, and this is how space-time distortion translates into reduced distance.
That's a little bit of it right there. So fascinating. We are so lucky he came out when he did. It's such good information. Okay. And 0 Hour 1 says, put this out. Donald Trump, not only wasn't I friendly with Jeffrey Epstein, but based upon the information that has been released by the Department of Justice, Epstein and a sleazebag lying author named Michael Wolff conspired in order to damage me and or my presidency. So much of the radical left's hope against hope, some of whom I'll be suing. Additionally, unlike so many people that like to talk trash, I never went to the infested Epstein Island, but almost all of these crooked Democrats and their donors did. They did. Oh, and Deepak Chopra sent a message to Epstein in 2016. Subject was Donald Trump and Project Looking Glass War. The Project Looking Glass War. This kind of matches with what we suspected was going on. Timeline wars, time travel portals, deep dives. Yeah. And look at that. Donald Trump and the Looking Glass War. So this is a look how to look it up. Is that a book? I don't know. I haven't gone to the trouble of typing all of these in to get that. But I probably should. Why do time travelers keep trying to kill me? I'm just a realtor. 1980, he said that. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Breaking: right-wing populist Laura Fernandez wins presidential election in Costa Rica. Her platform emulating that of El Salvador President Nayib Bukele. However you say that. She pledged to build her own CCOT to lock up countless criminals like Bukele did. The right wing is rising. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Oh, here's just a reminder of how lame Don Lemon is. Remember this? This is from some time ago. Look at this.
Their message is peace and coming together in the country. What's your message?
You don't believe that for 1 minute, do you?
That their message is?
Yeah.
That's what they said to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe them.
Any protests over the deaths of these cops today in Baton Rouge?
I don't know that.
Any riots or protests over the police officers in Dallas, Texas?
What are you asking?
It's a pretty simple question.
I asked you what's your message to the people? Their message is one of peace. What is your message?
My message has been clear from day one, 2 years ago. This anti-cop sentiment from this hateful ideology called Black Lives Matter has fueled this rage against the American police officer. I predicted this 2 years ago. So what I want to know.
Okay, Sheriff.
Do I want to know?
With all due respect, do you know that this was because of that?
Yes, I do.
As a law enforcement officer?
I've been watching this for 2 years. I predicted this. This anti-police rhetoric sweeping the country has turned out some hateful things inside of people that are now playing themselves out on the American police officer. I want to know, with all of the black-on-black violence in the United States of America, by the way, when the tragedies happened in Louisiana and Minnesota, you know that 21 black people were murdered across the United States? Was there any reporting on that?
There was a black officer who was killed today, but let's...
Was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep So I understand, and listen.
I'm looking at 3 dead cops this week,
Sheriff,
and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
Just please, if you will just please, we can keep it civil. So, because with the message to people at home, I'm sure you want is one of civility.
I wish, Don, I wish you had that message of civility
have a conversation
toward this
you.
hateful ideology, these purveyors
You
of
don't
hate.
know what my message is.
That's
what I
what
want
they
to say
do.
to you is
These
if you'll
people
let me get
preach
it, are you going to get a
vile
word
and
in?
virtue
We'll be right
in the
back.
name.
Disgusting. He is not a journalist. He's a deep state lapdog. Deep state lapdog. Look at this. Now, I don't think this is really a picture from Mars. I mean, it'd be so easy to Photoshop that in, wouldn't it? I just don't think this is from, yeah, look at some Chinese or something, Korean or Japanese or something. I don't know, something like that. But I don't know. If it was from NASA, I'd believe it more. But it's so easy for people to get fooled by some of this crap that's out there. You know, it's kind of sad. If it was real, I think they would have linked the actual NASA footage, but they didn't. Just released it under their moniker. And I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. Oh, did you hear about this? Remember this? And Cat Turd says, what? WTF? And it's true. From convict to conservative. Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Trust won an $85 million Powerball jackpot on July 2nd, 2008. Everyone who buys lottery tickets should stop. It's clearly a fraud. Who did Epstein blackmail for that winning, right? Well, you know, someone did a study recently. They looked at all of the winners of the jackpot for the lottery in the last several years, and a very large percentage of them worked for intelligence agencies, and a lot of them gave a big portion of the money back to the intelligence agency. And we all know that Epstein was part of not only the CIA, but Mossad, possibly. So, yeah, that's why he won, because he was part of that evil thing. Look at that. Oh, it doesn't sound so crazy after all, does it? Remember this?
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity. And from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years. Can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me. And they also would like to see problems in these areas, like especially the areas that we're talking about, go away, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like. We'll send them in. We'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less. Okay.
Just real quick, at the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there. And we are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country. And when you look at some of the things that these people are saying with defund the police and no borders, open borders, everybody just pour right into our country. No testing, no nothing. You know, you talk about testing, no testing. Mexico, as you know, has a very high rate of infection. The wall is now going to be next week 300 miles long. Our numbers are extraordinary.
And Nicki Minaj says, your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you have to continually spill blood. It's pretty sick. And Elon Musk says nobody has fought harder for full release of the Epstein files and prosecutions of those who abused children more than I did. Knowing full well that legacy media, far left propagandists, and those who are actually guilty would admit nothing, deny everything, and make up stories about me. Yeah, he knew. Maybe I should discuss the brainwashing techniques they use. Yes, you should. Oh, and look at this. This is interesting, but also kind of scary, and I don't really like this. It's where this technology is going. From GPQ, a biological miracle is happening in accelerated learning centers, this Learning Center. Researchers successfully implanted procedural memories like piano playing, language vocabulary, and martial arts movements using transcranial magnetic stimulation combined with virtual reality. This is kind of scary to me, actually. Test subjects with zero piano experience played intermediate pieces just after one 20-minute session. Skill retention lasted 6 months without practice, with 91% accuracy maintained. The process works by mimicking the neural firing patterns of experts. Brain scans from master pianists create skill maps that are then induced in novices through targeted electromagnetic pulses. The hippocampus and motor cortex from new synaptic connections 40 times faster than traditional learning. Education systems face obsolescence as corporations race to commercialize instant expertise. This is frightening to me. While you're downloading something, they could download something that makes you into a murderer and you wouldn't even know it. It's just kind of scary to me. Kind of scary. I don't know. Oh, wait. A reader's note. This was not on before when I posted it. Reader's added context. This claim is false. No such research exists. It misrepresents a 2016 HRL left. Oh, good. But it'll probably be real by next week, the way that AI is going. That's nice to know. Pray for Nicki Minaj. She is taking the music industry head on. It's time to expose all, Nicki Minaj, your favorite artist, as we say. When your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. The jig is up. Oh, look at this. Trump just posted this screenshot. 5x5 vibes. 5 and 5. They're wearing Melania dresses. Dr. Robert Jeffries post says, some of our church ladies at the new movie Melania that includes my prayer for president and first lady. Isn't that incredible? Just so cool. Let's listen to this. This is from Johnny St. Pete.
Able to escape. It is all of them. All of them. And not one will be able to escape.
What is true is we had some good parties at the White House. Woo! There's
Hey, little girl, is her daddy home?
Public place, you did it.
The best.
Okay, the best.
Probably the Obama thing.
John!
These incestuous relationships with Anthony Fauci that go back 20 years, where he's paying Fauci, and they have all kinds of really corrupt financial entanglements. We thought that he brought Fauci to the house. Although I never had COVID.
Yep, it's pretty dark, pretty dark. How amazing. The state health director who verified copies of Obama's birth certificate died in a plane crash today. All others lived. Remember Fuddy? That was back in 2013. He posted that. He's been on this forever. And Pizzagate was always real. Ella Malding. That is why the most censored topic of the internet. That is why every prominent figure that mentioned it died by suicide. Yes, all these people died because they were amplifying the truth, trying to wake people up. Trying to wake people up. And let's see, True Stormy Joe put this out, Q521. It's just a matter of when, not if. Okay, this is 521 from 1/13/2018. We are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war. At in brackets. Not everything will be clean. Scare necessary event. Do you trust the U.S. military? Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. Patriots, Patriots Day. Have faith. You were chosen for a reason. You are being provided the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it. Protect and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Powerful, powerful stuff. Look at the dogs in winter. Let's watch this. Oh,
that's my boy. No, my boy. Father, help.
He's gone. He's gone.
Oh, just a look at that. The happy dog.
Meow, I gotta see the snow. Oh, you guys choke.
Look at this guy. Isn't that sweet? Oh, we needed that little cleanse there. And DC Lidstone, timing is everything. And this is post 3799, January 28th, 2020. You didn't think we highlighted Epstein for no reason, did you? Those who were once protected are no longer. Timing is everything. Hunters become prey. Q. That's pretty cool. To be blunt, game over. And then look at Elon Musk's puts game over. To be blunt, game over. They need to release Epstein's files, Epstein's videos, the victim's images blurred out. He recorded everything. That will eliminate all doubt. I am in none of them, but many prominent people, especially on the left, are. Game over. Game over, to be blunt. Elon Musk put this out. Oh, yeah, we just read that. And here's a letter to Donald Trump from the New York Yankees. Let's read this. Mr. Donald J. Trump from February 23rd, 1989. Dear Donald, saw you on the Morton Downey the other night. He is a friend, and I watch his show regularly. You were great. You tell it like it is. It is like I said to Stephanie, you should run for president someday and get the whole damn thing straightened out. You were tremendous on the show. Warm personal regards, George Steinbrenner. How do you like that? And history has receipts. Yes, history does have receipts. And this is a woman. She took her kid out of school because the school is protesting out in the rain. And she almost got accosted just going into the school to get her kid. Disgusting. So disgusting. Look at this. This is a China AI sprinkler. It detects and stops fire before it spreads. Look at this. Wow. See, they set a fire, test it. It detects it and sprays it. Fantastic. That's incredible. I mean, the old sprinklers would just sprinkle everything a little bit. That's targeted. That's remarkable. Remarkable. Oh, yeah. A leaked email from Hillary Clinton talks about the resurrection chamber of the buried Nephilim. Request for document relating to Gilgamesh's resurrection chamber, the location of his body, and the location of buried Nephilim. 3/12/2018. Look at that. Interesting, huh? Remember those pictures of Gilgamesh in that time, that gravity well that preserved him totally? How do you get him out? How do you deactivate that gravity well? I don't know. They probably don't know. Counterfeit ballots. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else interesting and fun to watch here. Oh, this is fun. Let's watch the pigs. They're going to push them. Look at that. Those lucky pigs. Those are some lucky pigs. Well, I think we're going to end it on that bright note there, shall we now? Oh, I want to thank everyone for coming along. All right. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming along. And remember now, we do this Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Central because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your cameras pointed to the skies so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO and come on to the Truth Quest and talk all about it. We'd love to hear about your UFO experiences. Yes, we will. And future shows coming up. We're going to have Heidi Pop on, and I'm also talking to Chastity Muntz to come on. And so we're looking forward to those guests and more. And we thank you for all coming along. And looks like Skylark says, thank you, Aaron. You're welcome. And Kathy says, good night, everyone. And Chroniviewer says, great show, Aaron. Good to see everyone. Good to see you too, buddy. All right, I better, and JJRSVL says, cool show, Aaron. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. And Jerry Lelane says, Sky the military use big alien ships, Stargate's portals. And JJRSVL says, the viewers grew from 7 when I joined to 21 viewers. All right. Yeah, we were kicked off of YouTube for 2 years. So it's trying to build back the viewership. So thanks for sharing it on out. And Skylark says, good night, fellow Truth Questers. And Cap78 Pack, Peggy Dancer says, thank you, Aaron. Great show with great chatters. God bless you all. Much love. Peace in. Have a great week ahead. And Jerry Lelane says, the dogs were funny. Yes, weren't they? Thank you all so very much. Thank you all so very much. And there's my little message to you all. And I hope that you do have a great night and a great rest of your week. Until Wednesday, we'll see you, and peace in. World peace, baby. It's coming. It's almost here, thanks to our favorite president. All right. We'll see you on Wednesday, right around 9 p.m. Central, right here. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace in.